There's a code red here at Spider-Man HQ, and today we're going to solve it with the power of pizza. Let's get to it. Alright, so we've decorated a bit since the last episode, starting to fill out the Spider-Man HQ. I have my gaming computer set up here in the corner. Over here on the viewing platform, I have some science experiments with heads of the mobs in test tubes. I love this new chicken head. So good. And then upstairs, we have a little villager trading library here with a fish tank in the corner. And these guys are selling us mending and fortune. And mending is the big thing for today's episode because, as you'll see on my toolbar, all of my tools are about to break, but they have mending. And the problem that we have on this server is that we have mending books, but we do not have a good XP farm or a good way to get XP for the mending to help. So today we're going to try to build a little XP farm that I can use, and you're gonna see up in the corner there, that is what we're using to go exploring and adventuring and get the things that we need for our XP farm. Let me introduce you to Spider Pig. We have our happy gas on the server now as the update has dropped, and this is pretty amazing. I've built a helicopter or happy gas pad in the back of my Spider-Man HQ. Let's go on an adventure to find the mob that we're going to put in our XP farm. With my whole Spider-Man core aesthetic I'm doing this season, it's really got me thinking about the things that influence me. Obviously, my love of Spider-Man growing up has made an influence in this season, but even in everyday life situations, the friends I have, the people I hang out with, the online content I consume is shaping me into a specific type of person. And you are too, whether you think about it or not. I watch, for example, a lot of Hermitcraft, and the way I create these episodes has changed over time to be a bit more like B-dubs mixed with Good Times with Scar. And I have a lot of British friends, so I've grown to love British things in life, like Jaffa cakes and football, and when you really think about it, you're more like the people you hang out with than you realize. Okay, we finally made it, thanks to Spider Pig here, and now is going to be the scary part. We all know I have excellent Minecraft skills. Oh, I died to a bed. Ow. Oh. Nice. What? And we're going to see how this goes, but my mission is right over there. You can see there is an outpost, and I did some scouting ahead, and right over that little hill, there is the object of our mission. So, here's the game plan. We're going to infiltrate the base, step 1. Step 2, we're going to kill all the pillagers and hope that no more spawn on top of us. Step 3, we're going to loot the base. Hope that there's like an armor trim or something up there, because I would like to decorate my very poor armor. And then, you can just see it in there, we're going to break someone free and then trap it in a torture device to get experience from later. Super fun. I think my strategy is to just run in, catch them off guard before they even know what's happening, and hope that all these trees and stuff defend me and that nothing bad happens. Here we go. Oh boy, there's already weird terrain. Let's kill all of you. Thank you. Is that it? Hello? Anyone? Okay, I guess that was easy. Now how do I get up? Oh, hello. Surprise attack. How do I get up there? Go away, go away. Thank you. Hello, where's your door? Is the door over here? Kind of, I guess. This is a weird setup. Anyone up here? Wow, what an easy raid that was. No armor trim, which is sad. Not a great book either, but we'll steal all this anyway. Alright, let's go get our prize. we'll hang out for a little bit. You get to fly back to the base with me. And there we go. All safe and secure. Let's go, buddy. You're gonna live in a pizza shop. Along with being influenced by good things, there's a lot of negative ways we can get influenced too. I'm on Instagram and YouTube Shorts way too much, and I've realized it makes me a really angry and grumpy person about the world. I'm being influenced to be cynical, to be worried about money, to be judgmental towards people, and I really don't like that I'm being changed into that type of person. So I've decided to cut back on consuming that type of content because I want to be influenced by the good that I know, not the random bad that I find online. There's a lot of subconscious negativity you can really be intentional about cutting out of your life. Now that our adventure is over and went way better than I thought it would, my piloting days are done, and now we're going to duplicate the allays and build a place for them to live in torture for forever, but let's just forget that part. So I've got my jukebox here. We're gonna pop that down. We're gonna put the best music disc ever in that jukebox, and then let's start duplicating. I've kind of decided that I'm just gonna have a full-out Spider-Man core season. I had my Spider-Man HQ I built last time. I have Spider-Pig on my Spider-Pig helicopter base. I've made this mud farm building that I decorated with the face of Spider-Man. And so the next thing that Spider-Man Village needs is a pizza shop. So here's the clip of Spider-Man 2 on YouTube that I found that has this scene that I had in my head of this pizzeria and the sidewalk that it's on. And so what I'm doing is I'm just looking at this picture and seeing, okay, what colors in Minecraft blocks can I use to recreate this building? And so I'm looking over here at the pizza shop. This kind of tannish yellow is very end bricky. Don't get to use end brick much, so that will be a cool one to do. And then there's kind of some yellow and red. Obviously I won't be able to get all of the letters in Minecraft kind of as detailed as it is, but if I get the general gist of this yellow and red stripes here, this red awning over the doors, and it's like a square building I can kind of see with a door here in the front and then a door off to the side too, so we can have two entryways into this pizzeria with just some maybe slabs or stairs to make this banner. And then I don't want to just do this little square. Let's add in this part to this vegetable garden shop where they sell nuts and dried fruits. So here is pretty cool. It shifts from this yellow to this kind of dark green, which is maybe a green terracotta or a green wool or something like that. And then out here is quite fun. There's some fruit stalls and some flower stalls, so I can use some just random Minecraft blocks to create kind of these stalls. Then I want to do this shop window where it's this big glass windows in the front with items in the back. So I was thinking I could put some products, maybe just colors in the background that gives off the general store kind of feel of what's being sold back there. So I've come up with this layout that I've kind of scoped out a bit and figured out some of the sizing. This is the pavement right in front of the shop, and here's going to be the pizza shop, and then here's going to be the garden shop, and then the XP farm is going to go inside here, which we'll get to building that a bit later. So let's go for it. When I'm thinking about the good influences I want to become more like, as a Christian, the really big one is Jesus. Christians talk a lot about becoming more like Jesus, and it may be a bit cliche, but when you think about it, like, how cool is it if you get it right? Jesus was someone who cared for people, who hung out with people who were the rejects, who fed people food, who was wise, who made others feel loved and important. Philippians 2 says it like this: you must have the same attitude as Jesus had. Don't be selfish. Don't try to impress others. Be humble, thinking of others as better than yourself. Don't look out for your own interests, but take an interest in others too. Now that is the kind of influence I really want to become like. And here we are, our final Joe's Pizza. I am actually super proud of myself for this build. I've never really built like this before. I've just looked at a reference photo and just kind of went for it. I do a lot of kind of looking at other people's actual Minecraft builds and kind of copying that or taking big inspiration from that. But I love just this new thing of looking at a picture from a film that I love and trying to build it in Minecraft. So let me show you all the little details. Here is the front, Joe's Pizza. Again, that kind of sandstony color with the yellow lines, the white lines, this sign that was there that I couldn't get the text of, but I could still give the impression of those lines. And then the big Joe's banners at the top. And let's look at the pizza shop first. As you walk in, it's a pretty tight little place. Here's the bar where you can order from, the menu of all the pizza items, some chips that they might offer as well. In the back, there's been some mess. Some pizza sauce has been dropped on the floor. It's not the cleanest pizzeria. And then next door is the garden center. And so again, I just kind of went with the impression of the colors, that striped awning that comes across. And this is my favorite bit. All the little bits out front of things that they're selling, some plant type stuff, some fruit stuff. I like this. I did this minecart that's on a powered rail, so it's just kind of stood there, just giving different shapes and angles of what's out front. And then in the windows, there was, in the picture, different things that were selling, cans of stuff. And I just kind of put different textured blocks back there. Some coral, some melon, some resin that just give off bright colors. Like there's kind of stuff in the back, in the shelves of the shop that you can get from. And then in here, the doors, you can start to peek at the XP machine that I built in there. And let me show you one extra bit up on the roof. I love this detail. I just put some extra things up on the roof, some kind of air conditioning pipes and some type of air conditioning unit up there, some steam coming off the roof. Just again to give a bit more life to the roof, so it's just not a flat gray rectangle. Now we are here for the big show, of course. You can see my XP bar. I have been testing it out, but I haven't yet mended all of these tools that are pretty much on the verge of breaking, especially this bow. You need to be very careful not to accidentally fire this or it's going to be gone. So let me show you how the XP machine works. So you kind of come into the pizza shop, go into the back, and back here is our XP machine. There's just some harming arrows that are floating in some bubble columns, and up there are our pour allays. And to make this work, you have to come back here to my little brewing upstairs, and this is a little thing where you can kind of make some potions and brew things. See if I have any. Yes, this is what we need. Splash potion of infestation. So let's get one of those ready. And we are going to shoot it at the allays that are stuck in that block down there. So we shoot this. And then we grab some flint and steel, load that into the dispenser. And I'm sorry, set all the allays on fire. And then this is where it gets very noisy, very loud. You just kind of stand here as the allays are being burnt in the fire behind you. And it's making silverfish come out. And you just kind of get a bajillion XP. And there it is. We're done. I am still getting XP into my bar. I don't think we're ever going to need XP ever again at this point. So while we're out here, since my last recording, I didn't just build this building, but you can see there's something behind me as well. I built 2 extra buildings because, you know, why not build stuff off camera and not make content out of it? Let me show you some other builds that I made. So I got all this XP and I was like, I don't have an enchanting station. And so I built a enchanting system over here. And I don't want to just like put books around an enchanting table. I like to make it just kind of interesting looking. And so I thought, how about let's hang the bookshelves and kind of make this like an industrial. Some bookshelves are being dropped off at the Spider-Man HQ, and the enchanting table is kind of turning everything into this green color. Since the last recording too, the new copper update has dropped, so the copper chains are in, the copper railing is in, and so I made this hanging enchanting setup with these chains. It's all kind of getting corrupted the closer it is to the table. And then I was like, well, something's got to be carrying that, so let's make a giant crane. And so this giant copper crane is lowering the books down into here. And the thing that I really love about the update too is the bookshelves are here. Kind of vertical slabs, if you will. And so I kind of put this safety barrier around the loading dock here. And you can kind of see him up there. I found a nitwit. And so I put him working in the crane. He can at least have a job. Let's go see if we can say hello to him. Hello, sir. Flash Thompson, working up in the crane here. That is a Spider-Man reference. Enjoy your day of work. And then I was like, well, you can't just have all this copper stuff and let it age to whatever color it wants. So what do you need to stop copper from aging? Well, you need a lot of honey. And I'm kind of turning this whole village slowly into different Spider-Man references. And so I thought, what better Spider-Man reference than the American high school bus for Peter Parker when he was a high school student. And again, my favorite new block out of the copper update are these bookshelves, because you can do such cool things with putting stuff into each slot. The orange banner, some white banners, some black banners, but it looks like the front grille of a school bus. You can do, I have so much more to explore with this, because over here in the school bus, the sign flips out and it's like this red and white stop sign, so cars don't drive past and hit the school children. And I just use these red and white and red blocks, and like you can do so much with what you put into the shelves to make even more finer detail. I love this school bus. It was a design that I found on Reddit by someone called Waffle Warrior. I loved it. I thought like the new use of the shelves and all the bamboo and yellow, it was just perfect for a school bus. But this isn't just a school bus sat on the side of the road. No, this is a honey farm. So in the school bus are a bunch of bees. And in here, they are making honey that I can use to get out of my way, bee, that I can use to wax all of the copper that I'm going to be using for this new update. So here is kind of an overlook of my base so far. The Spider-Man HQ, the enchanting setup with the crane, and the nitwit up there operating the crane, the Joe's Pizza over in the corner, the school bus driving off in the middle of the town, the mud farm here that I haven't even really talked about, but that's another thing I did. And I'm just so happy with how this is turning out, and I can't wait to build even more. There's a lot of this village that I still have to convert, and so I'm going to be thinking of other types of Spider-Man builds that would work really well in this village. And that is everything for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, as always. If you want to build this XP machine, I'll post it in the description down below. It is definitely the best XP machine you can make on a Bedrock server. Drop a comment to give me some ideas of what Spider-Man thing I can build next. And we look forward to seeing you in the next episode.